You know what I'm picking up on? A very sinister energy that wanted to use you for your creativity. And this is going to go a little bit deep because it could have something to do with sex magic. And I've mentioned this before in my channel, but specifically, the energy that's been coming to me has a lot to do with someone who is possibly in a marriage or in some kind of relationship or connection, and they don't really know exactly what their partner, what a said individual is actually using their energy for, or what they're actually doing with your presence. I mentioned this briefly yesterday on my video where I said that you dodged some kind of energy, a connection that could have possibly been, and for some of you, if this is a marriage, you're going to leave the situation. I'm going to finish the video by kind of tying it up into exactly why a sort of energy magic isn't going to work on you in particular receiving this message. It has a lot to do with the major player. And this is a video that's really talking about two major players. This isn't a small, tiny situation here. It's almost like who's the bigger, badder wolf. And what I'm getting is the energy that you're dealing with is a player of the lower realms, and you are the player of the higher realms. And we're seeing this collision, and the number 6 could be significant, so can be 8 as well. But this has a lot to do with rebirth, and something's gotta give. Let me get into this video. You had an energy around you that was honestly afraid of you, and mostly afraid of exactly what you're capable of because they can see it. And they were at a dilemma of pushing you aside or keeping you close because there's something that this energy wanted to gain from your presence. You know what they say in the book Think and Grow Rich by, I have it right here, Napoleon Hill. There is no such thing as something for nothing. And this energy, this is exactly what they did or tried to do, and this is why it's backfiring. They wanted everything from you, and they wanted to give you absolutely nothing in return. This wasn't a I use you and you use me situation that I'm talking about. This is a I use you situation, and I don't want you to know about it as I do. Heck, I don't even want you to know the fact that you have something to use. This energy might have kept you around as some kind of specimen to see exactly how you respond to outside stimuli. They wanted to know the nooks and crannies of how your brain works, because more often than not, there was something quite fascinating about how you perceived this world, how you digested and transmuted energy, and the perspective that you take from things that would be otherwise very constricting for a lot of people, and how you were transmuting this energy, how you were transmuting manipulation, while at the same time carrying an aura of seeming innocence or ignorance to it. There is a way that you operate that fascinated this energy to kind of investigate further how your brain worked, because they wanted to sort of possess that type of energy. They wanted to learn that energy for themselves. But what they faced was major disappointment because they couldn't learn that energy, and they weren't at a position where they could humble themselves and come to you for some kind of support or help, because that is not how they wanted the dynamic to play out in their imagination. For those of you who are in an active or relationship or a connection or even a marriage with this energy, I'm getting a very dark side to it, because this is not for everyone, this part right here. This energy more often than not could be using you sexually, right? And in a marriage, we think we're safe. We think that we know our partner, but sometimes we will find out that we don't. And for those of you this is resonating with, this energy has come into contact with people who can pick up on the fact that you are talented at a specific transmutation powers. You are gifted with these powers. And you might be in a connection with them, where you have been, when you weren't fully aware of your power and how to use it, but you were using it regardless. And this energy could have gotten help from other people. And this could be an energy that can go as far as drugging you, to assault you with the help of other people in order to harness or harvest this energy from you for wealth, for creativity, especially creativity, like arts creativity. This is a very sensitive and specific topic. And for those of you that it isn't in a marriage or some kind of connection of a sort, this is how this power dynamic is going to play out. And it's playing out because for a lot of you, you possess a fraudulent aura of pretending like you don't really know. I want to say fraudulent because it's elusive. It makes people think that they can get one over you, but they really aren't able to, because like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this energy reading or this story is about the major players. It's about transmutation. And this is exactly how this is going to go down. The only way that such a magic can be successful for the person who is perpetuating this harm is if the person that they were doing it to is if they were disempowered, if they were giving up something in their mind that this energy has tried from the very beginning to possess, and this is why they couldn't quite push you away or pull you close. Because either way, they felt like they couldn't make up for the fact that you weren't going to be able to relinquish yourself consent to your mind being used for somebody else's benefit, or your mind succumbing or giving way to somebody else's reality, to manifest somebody else's reality. This is exactly how these magics can work, is if you are foregoing your right to create, even in a situation where you might seemingly be at a disadvantage, like sex magic. And sex magic probably being done in the safety of somebody's marriage, in your marriage, or in the safety of a friendship. They're not going to be able to win because you still have the power over your mind. You're still able to overshadow and transmute. It's almost like, how can you hurt someone that's laughing and enjoying and savoring the pain that you're inflicting on them because they are empowered over it? This is the thing that a lot of people won't and cannot understand about the chosen. Hate fuels the chosen. There is a positive polarity to the negative energy that people give the chosen. And more often than not, this innocence or this being kind of like easily manipulated is more so a tactic that the Most High uses to entrap people who think that the dark realm or the realm of the physical world can outmaneuver the spiritual world, when in reality you have been crowned in the spirit. You are ruling over the higher chakras. And this is exactly why it isn't going to work. It's because in that process, when these energies are trying to claim something that is inherently yours, you are actually claiming not only what is yours, but what they have as well. So more often than not, they will have a false sense of success. As I've seen this in a prophetic dream before. They will have a false sense of winning, but almost like their car is being fueled by water. It'll come to an abrupt stop. And not only that, but whatever they got, right, will trickle back to the major player. So this is kind of a battle of who is a bigger, badder wolf? Who is a bigger, badder energy monster? But the thing is, being vampiric is very temporary. There's a temporary win that they're going to experience. But the permanent, in fact, it will be added to you. The permanent win will be yours. I hope this resonated. As always, I don't reach out for readings. Those are scammers, and I will see you in the next video.